Better Hit the Mat podcast.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 14 of Better Hit the Mat podcast, allegedly a fitness podcast. I am one of your hosts, and these are the others. I'm Boz. Say hi, Tom. Travis.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Very,
I don't know
very
why we
regal. Very regal. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Back to his pageant days.
That's right.
Can you twirl as well? No, that's more my thing.
At the same time.
Let's make it official, fellas. Cheers.
We really should.
Cheers.
Cheers. So I've got to put my mic in just the wrong place. So thank you for coming back. If this is your 14th time,
God bless you.
I don't get it, but thanks. Yeah. So hot off the heels of our Unstoppable 4 episode, which I had a blast. That was great fun. And
That was fun.
yeah, I think again we've had the good feedbacks and people seem to like it. So
Yeah.
we're gonna rattle through that. I do the same thing every week. I've got to be a different way to segue in. I don't have anything else to talk about. Fuck it. Actually, no, I'm gonna do. But before we get to your feedbacks, I got a little something to play. Like our boy Travis here is hitting the big time all over the place. Check this out.
Yeah, because this is heavy.
It's very heavy.
So you've been doing some yoga, DDP yoga.
I have. You've noticed.
You do it like every day, right?
Shout out Travis Mahaffey, DDPY Level 1 yoga instructor, DDPY instructor.
So and he's
Also,
gonna
that will be
cruise.
available on the cruise. Yes.
So,
Sorry.
You've been doing a lot of that.
On a boat.
On a boat.
On a boat. And if you notice,
Level 1.
yes, two things you notice about that. The hands, the pinkies, they're spread wide. Also,
Yeah, bitch.
it's not just yoga, so I had to stop it from saying just yoga. So DDP yoga.
They do say that a lot on that show, don't they? Like, you're doing yoga. It's not yoga.
Yeah. It's funny because I every time we have class, I'm like, hey, it's DDPY, DDP yoga. It's not just yoga. He's like, okay. So he was like, I think that was his little shake to me. He's like, oh, got you. Okay, I got you. But man, he's doing great. He's our goal is to, by the time we get to the cruise, he used to break dance back in the day. Believe it or not. Yeah. So the goal is to be able to get him back flexible and strong enough to where he's able to do the worm again.
Oh yeah. This will get you there.
What's that? This will get you there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of, I'm not the biggest sportsman, as you probably know, but all this stuff I'm doing with like lightsabers, and for me, I was always a fencer, and I hadn't fenced in years because of shoulder pain, toe pain, all this kind of stuff. And I did a bit of an experiment, went back just out of the blue. All I had done for like a year and a half was DDPY. And kitted up, went to my old club. For a start, my jacket zipped up with a little bit of space. It's like, hey!
That's
For the
awesome.
first time, I don't feel like a stuffed sausage in all the jackets. With just all the rolls and the like, I can't breathe. Because like if fencing, you wear an under thing and then a jacket. And then if you're doing electric scoring, you have to wear a lame, which is a metal threaded jacket over the top of that. And by the time you're wearing 4 layers, it gets a bit tight in there. So anyway, I had some video from the last time I'd done a few rounds, and then this video the next time, and I was lighter on my feet, I was faster, my distance was better, and it's like, and I'd done no other cardio anything, so it worked for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, but you can check John out, johnreep.com, REEP, if you want. That's country-ish podcast as well, so he's a pretty funny dude.
He is a funny dude. So we did, before we go to our email feedbacks and things like that, we've got some video feedback, and it's from someone who hasn't sent us a video before. So I'm going to bow my head in respect, and I'm going to click play.
Hi, this is Graham. Hi, Tom, Boz, Travis, Ryan. I just want to let you know I listen to your podcast all the time, and I really enjoy it, except I don't like the dirty language and curses that you say there. I'll be looking forward to the next podcast.
Oh no.
That's us told.
Ooh.
It's official.
Is it speaking out of turn if I say I don't believe your grandma?
We could say that for sure.
We have a new program director.
So from this point on, guys, no more fucking swears. Oh shit! Oh.
She can be
Sorry,
that.
Graham.
In the background was going across too, so she definitely was putting the authority down. But we love Graham. Graham's 93 years old, guys.
You wouldn't know it.
And putting in
Not
the work.
at all.
Rock
Putting
star.
in the work.
She doesn't live a
Right.
93-year-old's life either at all.
Is she going on Reeps Peeps cruise with Travis?
She might be.
Hey, plenty of room. Plenty of room.
She would want a big room. She wouldn't want one of those dinky rooms, man. She would want a full balcony. She would want everything. She deserves it.
Yeah.
She deserves it, for sure.
And
Well, that's how I have to
a
roll,
staff.
too. Yeah, that's how I have to roll too. I can't do an inside room. It has to be balcony.
Oh, crazy.
I can't do boats, so yeah, I'm screwed either way.
I feel you there, man.
So, written feedback. So you got Trav.
All right, I got Lisa Tiley here, and it says, "I can't tell you how motivated I am after watching this week's podcast. I've watched all the videos from the finalists of the DDPY page, but this format makes it all the more personal. Love the music question. Thank you very much. That is an awesome feedback. Cheers."
Cheers.
Cheers. And I can say I have test run our playlist in a workout, one of our workouts this week, and the first track that came up, I put it on shuffle. First track, fucking Chesney Hawkes. Thanks, Naren.
The worst. The worst. So she said in the discussion when you had called her out about that she wanted to get him to play her wedding for $5,000.
$5,000. That's a bargain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you
Surely.
sure?
Wow.
He's a legend over here.
Really?
Like, I had his curtain, like, so this lockdown hair, this is like when this shave bit gets too long, I have no choice. It has to change. And then, so that side has to come over, and then I go curtains. And then if it gets too long, that's my Chesney look. I looked like Chesney for quite a few years when I was younger. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
I have no idea who this cat is.
I don't know either, but I will tell everybody I was completely inspired last week, not by the music picks but Ryan's new tattoo. So I was also inspired to get my own tattoo of my favorite artist.
Okay.
So I wanted to reveal this on the show for the first time.
On his jacked guns. The Kansas City Chiefs.
That's Kelly Clarkson's son.
Oh, sorry.
Kelly Clarkson.
All praise. So big shout out to Kelly Clarkson.
Nice.
Have you got a massage book this week?
I don't. Ryan, yours was on the right arm, right? I think I put it on the wrong arm, but anyway, I was inspired. Once again, artist Heather has to come in and do the nonsense of saying, "Why am I putting another tattoo on you?"
We're learning
just
more and more about you.
To make my buddies laugh, and they're like, "She's like, it's not funny." So hopefully,
I'm just waiting for the real thing.
Yeah.
it might be. It might be. Probably won't.
And since you've been gone, we've been having other thoughts. So anyway,
Yes.
Out of 5 crazy tattoos, 1 will be real.
Shout out to Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, shout out. Big
Shout out to Kelly
fan
Clarkson.
of the show, she is.
Big fan.
She writes feedback every week, but I try to not,
We don't have time to get to it. We've got other important things to do.
So I've got one here from Jason Sparks, who was mentioned a couple times in last week's episode. It says, great to see 2 other faces that I didn't really know be able to speak about their journey. Frickin' awesome group of folks, and all of you kick some ass. Yes, all 8, and you know what they say, 8 is enough. I think Boz agrees. Also, it is Tina's time to lose this year. I believe in her. There are so many great people in this challenge this year, and everyone is a contender. And while that's just kind of your run-of-the-mill Jason feedback because he gives it to us all the time, I wanted to make sure we mention him once again because we did call him out, and he said he's still not sure if he's going to jump into the challenge. So this is my way of saying, get your ass in the challenge, you coward.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I do believe he's in it. I do believe he's in it.
All
Cheers.
right, that's what we want. Cheers, Jason. Good luck, buddy.
Shay.
Cheers,
Good luck.
Big J.
Yeah, exactly.
The voice, as I call him.
The voice.
And Tom, who've you got?
So this was an official email. This came in to the BTTR email from Tom Soroka, and it just says Thomas Wallant sucks. Tom, we love you. Go fuck
Cheers to
yourself.
that.
The original troll. Tom's original troll.
I love that he commented. Let's see, on the video. Oh man, I got a shout out for Justin Dobbins. How cool is that? And then a few minutes later, it was like, man, Tom Willett sucks. And then he took the time to email it too, just to make sure he gets it all bases. Doesn't want to default to the So, before we bring the guest on, you've probably already noticed, and you've probably already heard, for the audio people, that we're all wearing this shirt here. Travis, you want to give us an explanation on why you've convinced us all to dress up the same?
Yes, thank you guys for all supporting and wearing the shirt here. What this shirt is I'll lead up to the story, but it is essentially a fundraiser for a friend of mine who has passed away. His name is Robert Smith. We called him Smitty. His local family and friends called him Bob, he was known as. But Smitty unfortunately passed away 2 years ago, and he was very active in his life as far as who he was as a person, in his military career, in his nursing career, in his family life. He was just a guy that just made you want to be a better person if you were a friend of his. That's just the type of guy he was. Unfortunately, he got cancer, and when he passed away, I had mentioned that I wanted to do a 5K, because a few months before he even passed, he even ran a 5K himself. And I like to say, actually, that if I can word it correctly, is that the way he passed, I don't say he lost his battle with cancer. I say he passed away while living life with cancer, because he did every day of his life. He lived life. And so the 5K came about in his hometown, the school district that he went to. And first and foremost, before I even get into this, I want to thank two people. Who helped me get this off the ground and running, as far as me just sitting and talking around about something. Yusuf Vuzawaiter, he's a great friend of mine. He helped me, pushed me to talking the website, talking the idea up. And then, of course, Ryan. Everything from the logo to the website. It is 100%. I couldn't ask for anything better from that. But so thank you, Ryan. So when he passed, right before he passed, actually, the school district raised some money, and they wanted to give it to Smitty and his wife to go on a vacation. And they actually turned it away and said they wanted to pass it on back to a student. And that's how the Berlin Smith Award came about. And so they had another 5K. And we were actually supposed to go up and run that, and COVID shut that down as far as everyone getting up to Berlin to run this race. So it became a virtual race. And so this year coming up, I didn't know if it was going to be a race again with COVID and everything that was going on. So talking with Ryan, talking with Yusuf, we put this together. We put a 5K together, and we're going to take all the proceeds from this 5K, and we're going to donate it to the Berlin Smith Award, which this award is going to award 2 seniors with $1,000 each. And hopefully, with what Shamrock Fitness is going to be doing, we'll be able to donate hopefully $1,000. But there is a website you can check out. It's Smitty's Run, SMITTYS Run. smitty'srun@gmail.com. And it's also a Facebook page. You can check that out. You can actually get to know Smitty a little bit. There's a little video on the Facebook page. Thanks to Brian Jones. He was gracious enough to put a little video together for me, which was really cool. And it's done very well.
So, and yeah, guys, if you sign up for it, there are 3 available packages that you can sign up for. All of them come with either a shirt, a hoodie, and then you also get a completion medal, which was designed by Travis. He's getting a bronze medal produced. The first package is this shirt here, which is the front here. Tom, you want to show them the back? You got the better backside. So,
hey, have we really compared that yet? I'm not sure we've compared that yet.
So
he's
there it
actually
is.
wearing pants.
Yeah. And let's see, it
That's
says
pretty
there,
good.
built Smitty Tough on the back, and then Robert Bob Smith, and then his birth date and final day there, as well as a heart stethoscope because he was a medic or he was a nurse?
He was a nurse. He was a
There you go.
nurse.
And so the t-shirt and hoodie or t-shirt and medal package is $50. Then there is a hoodie and completion medal package for $65. And then you can also do a combo, which is a shirt, a hoodie, and a medal for $80. And it's a fully virtual run, so you can run it, you can walk it, you can bike it. Me and my kids are signed up. We're just going to go on a bike ride because I don't run for shit. And it technically takes place on Saturday, May 1st, starting at 9 a.m. But if you don't want to do it then, you want to do it because the weather's a little bit nicer and it's middle of April and you want to go for a run, cool. Have at it.
Yeah, just basically if you do, just if take pictures with the shirt, maybe a video, you can email it to smitty'srun@gmail.com. We're going to put those eventually on definitely the Facebook page, the website, hopefully. And so definitely take those pictures
and do it all under hashtag smitty'srun. Once again, that's SMITTYSRUN, and built Smitty Tough is kind of what we're trying to make it trend under. We're going to try and build something where we can aggregate everything under those hashtags and just have a live feed going on the website too, basically for the next year. Once it goes live on May 1st, we're going to set another countdown timer and pick a date for the following year and make the 2022 edition. Holy crap.
Yeah. When we were talking about hype songs the other day, and one thing that I wanted to bring up was that if you guys are okay with it, I want to make Smitty an honorary guest of the show so we can toss in a song. His hype song was "I Ain't Going Out Like That," Cypress Hill. He said every time he was going to treatment, he would just jam that song. So
that's a great track.
Oh yeah,
that's a pretty badass song to kick the doors of the cancer center open with. Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one of the things he said when he went in and he said to himself, and he even told me, he said he wasn't meant to be there as far as feeling down for himself. When he walked in, and he wanted to approach it a different way. It's so strange in a sense. He said when we visited, he said that he was actually blessed. This was a blessing, what happened to him. I mean, a man that knows that his life is potentially coming to an end and say that this is a blessing takes a lot of courage to say and accept that.
Hell yeah.
But
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, for a start, Travis sent me this T-shirt from the States, so I could sit here on camera and still you think about that. So, but I have the T-shirt already, and I can't run. So, could we work out how many calories a 5K run roughly burns for someone my size? And I will burn that many calories doing back-to-back DDP yoga workouts.
Whatever it takes you to hit 45 minutes at probably 160 beats per minute.
Yeah, so 26,000 calories.
Ballpark.
Okay. Well,
in all seriousness, it's probably about 1,800 calories.
Yeah, 1,800. So that's what I was going to say. Around 2,000 maybe at the most.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I did 8 hours once. Well, I can...
When I did my half marathon, it was 3,300 calories, supposedly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when you said it's a fully virtual marathon, I'm like, well, if it's fully virtual, I will put on my Oculus headset and I will play Beat Saber, smashy crashy, like all the high energy games, and it actually does track your calorie burns from the controller movements and your head movements, and it tells you how many you've burned. So I can do it fully virtual.
Just like everything else, make it your own, right?
That's right. That's right.
I'll do something.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so far, I mean, we technically we've never talked about it on the show other than a quick mention here or there. And you've had a few mentions on Facebook, but you've already had pretty good sign up. You're approaching 25 plus.
25 right now, actually about 26, and I purchased 50 medals. So at the moment, and I'm talking to the medal company. They're really cool as far as keeping communication with me. So if I need to order any more, I can definitely do that. But yeah, haven't even really mentioned it, like you said, Ryan. We just kind of briefly talked about it here and there, and I already have 26.
Yeah, so let's make this jackass order some more medals, guys. Come on now.
And the really cool thing is, it's around the world. Wolf Rig. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with Wolf Rig. Simon Tate. He sent a message to me this morning. It was one of the first things I saw when I popped up this morning, and he said 90 days out to rocking and running around the world for Smitty.
Nice.
And that's in the UK, and of course, Baj, you're going to be doing it, and some friends in Canada and all over. It's very cool that his spirit and people that don't even know him are like, this is for Smitty.
I was thinking I might run a long Zoom room for those who can't run or medically.
That'd be awesome.
Might be an idea. They could drop in and out as they want to.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wicked.
And for those who are in inclement weather for long periods of time.
Yeah. The Canadians, you mean?
Right.
Canadians, try it. Indiana residents, man. I just shoveled 9 inches of snow this morning.
Woo.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Youch.
There's those 1,800 calories right there. It's one of the highest burns you can do.
Yeah, everyone else run 5K. The rest of you just shovel from the path to the road and you're done.
So on that note, we're going to raise them high for Smitty for sure. And we're going to hit that 5K, and we're going to run that 5K, and we're going to hit Smitty's run. Cheers.
Awesome. Well done.
All right.
All right, so should we bring on this week's guest, guys? All right. One time somebody's going to say, no, I'm good.
I was totally thinking about doing it. I was going to pull the Stacy and just be like, nope.
Well, I do have a long list, so eventually somebody's going to say no. No.
All right, guys.
So never on that list. The answer is no.
We're gonna book him, and that motherfucker's gonna no-show.
That's exactly. Or we should all ghost him. We can pull him up and just end the show.
I just click the mouse from under the desk to bring them in. None of us are here.
Entertain yourself, pal.
He would just say, "Tom sucks. Tom sucks. Tom." Like for
highest rated episode of all time.
All right. So this week's guest is one of the many power couples that you're going to find in the DDPY community. They're a testament to the idea that putting in the work on the mat as well as in the kitchen is going to net you just top-tier results. So please welcome the DDPY Meal Prep Tag Team Champs, Ari and Matt Kilgore.
Now, before I bring them in, I've mentioned their surname before, reminds me of something awesome. So I've got a badass intro before I bring them in. This is what your surname makes me think of. That's enough of that.
Wow.
Full door from Killer Instinct.
Wow.
Just where my brain went. Couldn't resist it. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Cheers.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Cheers.
Hey. Wow, from now on, that's how I'm starting every workout I do.
I made the assumption. Is it Ari or Ari? I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Ari. No, you got it.
All right.
You got it.
Fantastic.
Awesome. And I just like the bit where Fulgore's going like laser beams to the floor, and then I saw your T-shirt that says pew pew. That's perfect.
I'll tell you what, that sounded good in these new headphones. That's for sure.
You got your money's worth.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. That's
Yeah,
all
we're
Bob
happy
wanted
to
to
be
do.
here.
So take care.
All right. We'll see you. Have a good one.
So, well, obviously a lot of people have seen the videos that you guys make in regards to like the meal prep challenge and everything else. But can we start kind of at square one? How'd you guys end up doing DDPY and I guess give us the whole backstory.
You want me to start?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So I started DDPY before I even knew her. So I started in 2017, and did the whole transformation weight loss journey, and I decided to sign up for a run, and I met her at that run, and we just kind of started chit-chatting, and one thing led to another, and then we started hanging out and dating, and then she kind of joins me for DDPY, and she's been just a great addition.
Okay, you shortcutted that major. So to start, I don't think if DDPY hadn't entered your life, I would have met you at all.
That is
because you
very
didn't
true.
work out before.
Yeah.
And it was only because of DDPY you felt like you could even try a run.
Yeah. So for sure, that's very accurate. So back when I first started DDPY, or before that, I needed to do something to get my life kind of in shape and kind of back on track. No pun, Bob.
Royalties, yes.
I know he gets paid every time you say it. Every time.
He is so excited. I think that's first reference.
So yeah, I went out for just a run, and I was pushing 300 pounds back then, and I made it like half a mile, and my knees were just screaming at me. So kind of wallowed my booty back home and sat down outside and kind of had to reassess my plan, and then just started searching YouTube for fitness stuff. Like I've just kind of doing research on what's out there, and I saw DDP was doing yoga, and I watched him as a kid. He was one of my favorite wrestlers, so I was like, that's interesting. So then down that rabbit hole, and then the Arthur video, hook, line, and sinker. I was like, okay, this guy can do it, I can do it. So I signed up for a year and gave myself a year to kind of get into shape and kind of give it a try. So it worked out great. The first 8-ish months, I dropped a bunch of weight, started running further and longer in addition to DDPY, and it was just awesome. And then that's when I met her, and
he started posting yoga poses. So I will admit, I met him at this run, and I was not a yoga person. I had tried it, and I don't have the patience. I didn't have the whole Zen thing and music playing. That's not
me either.
Not my style at all. But
you wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga.
No, I wouldn't. Like I sound like DDP, but I'm the girl version because it's just not for me. Like implode on the inside. Like Fulgur. It's just me internally when I'm trying to do mellow yoga.
The blades come out. Sorry.
Yes. People get shot. It's just a bad deal. Like just move out of the way. Not really. Totally kidding. But I met him and learned that he got fit from DDPY, and that intrigued me. So I'm actually still learning. He's teaching me as he does his level 1 cert, because I have a hard time engaging. I've been working out for a long time, but mostly running and weightlifting. But I have sports injuries, and I have, my own weight loss journey that happened mostly with cardio though. And so I'm working on doing better with the engaging and getting the DDPY part in, because I lack a lot of the flexibility and the ability to turn on all my muscles at once, which is kind of what he's teaching me.
Trying to, yeah. So, yeah.
And I'm teaching you the food part.
Yeah, you really are.
Yeah, once you do learn that, though, once you learn how to engage and turn on all those muscles at the same time, then that is a game changer.
Yeah.
Because if you try to flex out only one muscle, because sometimes if you don't really know how to engage all the muscles, you can really almost kind of hyperextend or, mess yourself
Well,
up.
especially if your background's in lifting, and while Tom does a lot more lifting than I ever have, so much of weightlifting, it's about isolation and it's about concentration and focus. And so to try and pull that into DDP yoga or yoga in general is not necessarily the best approach. So
yeah. It's definitely definitely a learning experience. And like she was saying, so she keeps me on track with all the food stuff because she's the nutrition guru. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. So she's awesome.
Aw.
So I mean, and it seems like a lot of what you guys do, you're approaching it as a couple. And granted, I'm we're seeing probably just the surface level. We're not necessarily seeing you working out solo or anything like that. But do you think that as far as accountability, having him is more of a physical accountability and she's the nutrition accountability, and then as a team, it just makes it work, you think?
Absolutely. So we both have fitness trackers that alert us about each other's workout. And I will say just yesterday, I ran 7 miles and he was like, okay, to hit my goal I set, I need to do like 6.9 or something. But he said he got to 7 and was like, gosh, I already did 7.2. So I need to do a little extra. So he went 7.22.
Just a
that
little
accountability
extra.
there with maybe like a competitive edge.
Is that like 2 more steps?
Yeah. It's half a block around the curve more.
But no, seriously, sometimes I'm not feeling it, but he gets up and starts that DDPY workout and I'm like, crap, I have to kick it into gear too. And meal prepping every week, we keep each other on it.
Yeah, and that works both ways too. So some days she'll get up and start her workouts early and then gets me going, and we just kind of vibe up one another and kick her day off doing that for sure.
Even down to like, hey, you'll feel better if you do it. So
yeah,
do you want to run with me? Do you want to that kind of thing?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that works for us as well. Actually, it's get up, do a workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it right. Call it correctly.
Yeah. And well, just the other day I was doing a side plank, and she's over doing her workout, and she yells at me, goes, "Hey, you're using your hip flexors."
He was cheating.
She called me out for cheating, and I was like, "Okay, thanks."
So I paused my workout and I walked over and I pushed his hips in, so he was right in line.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes that person to see where you're at.
Yep.
But
See, all I got from that, Matt, was she was checking you out.
Okay. Well, I like yours way better. Let's go with that.
There you go.
Well, she was checking me out the other day. Yeah.
I will say, I mean, DDPY, makes sure you have something for me to check out.
Stop.
Yeah, but
Yeah, actually, I didn't have the part where we idolize him until like later in the show. But if you want to go ahead and do it now,
Get it out of the way.
yeah. I mean, go ahead, if you would, Matt, go ahead and take your shirt off, please.
Actually, this just reminded me of something. I just need to interrupt for a second. You done your workout? Silence. Well, I didn't get a fuck you, so I'm guessing that might be a yes.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So for the listeners, that was Boz yelling at Lavinia to do her workout. Well, let's see how this plays out.
Yeah. You got to give her some time to register. She's like, "Oh, what?"
The door's gonna come swinging open.
Did he just?
I know he didn't.
Oh, no.
You had mentioned you'd had a pretty good, that you had good weight loss, a lot of it with running and everything, and Matt, you'd said you were approaching 300. And actually, I have before and after pictures I sniped from your Instagram, so Boz will either lay them up now or later on in post. But outside of those dramatic before and after weight loss, what do you think is your biggest victory just doing this program or even just getting healthier in general?
I would say that's kind of a twofold answer. Is longevity for my life, I think, is probably the biggest one. One of the main reasons I got into DDPY and made that change was heart disease runs in my family, and my dad died from it very suddenly. my grandpa, my uncles had a few heart surgeries, and they're in their 50s. And I was looking ahead 20 some years and thinking, I don't want that to be me. So I would say the longevity for working on a longer, more healthy life is probably the number one thing. And the other one is confidence. Like we've heard a million times from this community, DDPY is a fantastic platform to put work in, work hard, and along the way kind of discover who you are and find your inner voice and your self-confidence. And that just kind of trickles down from into everything that I do now. And I'm sure Ari can attest to that as well.
Yeah, not to cut you off here, but I mean, is 300-pound Matt going to go to a running event and ask her out? Probably not.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, if you were like, hell yeah, whatever. Like, oh, good for you.
No. I wouldn't be caught dead at a running event when I was that heavy. No.
For me, it was victory over eating disorders and depression. So I actually, cardio was a part of it, but that 80-20 is a very real thing. So even when I was working out, I wasn't eating healthy and I was struggling with eating disorders. You would name it, I probably struggled with it at some point. Self-image, I think, is something a lot of people struggle with, women especially, but guys too. So I was on a journey to learn how to take care of myself and to be healthy. And I thought it was all in the fitness. And so I would go hard there, and then I would eat whatever made me feel good, because it was kind of an emotional eating too. And it was through working out that I kind of got the positivity boost to help with my depression. And then the eating disorder victory came as I just read more and learned more about what healthy eating looks like. When I heard about the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, it's amazing how much that lined up with a lot of what I've learned. But I actually even did a nutrition minor studies in college, because I just really wanted to learn more about it, because that's kind of when it was the hardest part of my life. And I don't know if we would work if DDPY wasn't so essential food-wise, only because I know that that's one of my biggest struggles. So my life partner had to be somebody who could be supportive with me in that and understand that part of me, and help keep me accountable, as well as be my partner in it.
Yeah, I totally agree, for sure. It's definitely essential. Yeah.
Well, you guys have done a great job, because even you've inspired people to take it to that next level themselves with the videos that you've put out there and the content that you've put out there with your food prepping.
I love food prepping.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite activity we do together.
Yeah, it's
really.
Yeah.
I say it's not my favorite activity we do together.
But you guys don't see it. I make all the dinners. Oh, I see what you're saying. Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Oh boy.
I've seen, and that leads me to my next question.
Woo, got there.
But when did the food prepping come in? When did that become a real major undertaking? Then your thing.
Yeah, so I started prepping before I met her. That whole first summer I was doing DDPY. I went full on phase 3 and prepped everything just to stay on track. So, and that just kind of trickled over into our life together. We've always done it, whether it's going on trips or going to the park for a day or doing something. We've always got something in the fridge we can just grab and go. So it's always been a part of it. Now we just do it every Sunday. It's just part of what we do.
Well, let's be really honest here, because I do remember sitting you down and saying, okay, so if we get married, I'm going to be very honest, I like things organized. And so we're going to have meals prepped, and they're going to be in these specific shelves in the fridge so that they're easy to grab, and they're going to be labeled as snack or lunch or dinner, so that things also don't go missing when somebody gets hungry and needs middle of the day snack. So kind of just flowed in, but also we had to sit down and talk about very real, hey, these are the meals that I love, and that would help me succeed. And then also, like, these are the snacks that I need to succeed, and these are the snacks that need to stay out of the house because they're my weakness. So there's a little bit of the planning component that came with it. It wasn't as easy and seamless as it sometimes I think looks like.
Yeah, that's very true as well, for sure.
Now, to piggyback on that, what would you what would you advise anyone getting started if someone goes, I have absolutely no idea where, how, or to begin food prepping? What would be one of the first things or a few things you would advise them of?
For me, it was education. When I got the app, before I did a workout, I spent time learning about nutrition, and that's why Dr. Tom segments are I love them because they just build upon all this other stuff. So I would say learn and educate yourself first on what you want to get out of what you're doing. So I spent time doing that before I even did a workout and kind of got a good plan for that, and then I started working out and just kind of added it in.
And I'll agree with that. I have a practical approach to it too. So like if somebody really wanted a specific tip, the way I approach everything is I write down my big goal. So like if my big goal is I want to get to phase 3 eating, then I kind of lay out like a 5 to 10 steps on how to get there. So like I would say, hey, pick a meal that's your hardest right now and start planning what that's going to be every day. So like maybe you struggle with eating a healthy dinner every night. So do your normal for breakfast, lunch, your snacks, but then for dinner, make a conscious effort to make that healthy. And then move on to the next meal and then move on to the snacks, because it doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen overnight. It took me, I don't know, mind you, I had the eating disorders, but maybe 3 to 4 years to get my eating fully under control. But it was a process, and I saw changes with every step I made.
Yeah, and I still feel like it's a process. Like, we definitely go out and, grab an ice cream cone every now and then, or a brownie or something. We just got to be.
When did you have a brownie?
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
I was just about to ask, where do you stand on the great cupcake debate?
Oh gosh.
Wait! We have to have a side conversation later.
Oh boy,
you're in trouble.
There's that brownie wrapper underneath the seat in the car.
Yeah.
He actually he bought a muffin and ate the paper too, so there was no evidence.
Thanks so much.
Oh, that's funny.
Now. With that said, what's your go-to? Let's say you've meal prepped for ages, and people, always have a go-to food. What's your go-to number one favorite?
I think I've done 4 videos on it, or mentioned it at some point, but DDP's chicken salad.
Okay,
I figured it was.
I definitely. I remember you doing that for sure.
Good Lord, I eat that Monday through Friday for lunches most days. I love it. So that's my go-to. I know exactly how many calories I'm getting. I know what's in it every week, and it's just delicious.
Mine are the wraps. So easy, and I can make it vegetarian, or I can make it with meat in it. I can kind of switch it up any way I want. So it's never old, and it can be different every time. And I can make it with anything I have in my cupboard. I don't have to go shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's such a cop-out answer. That's like, what's your favorite food? Sandwiches.
I mean, if you had sandwiches like I make them, you might say that, and it would be a good answer. Like,
yeah, but I mean, that means you can be like cheeseburgers.
I like DDP's. I like the pesto chicken on the app. That's
I haven't tried that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I have never made a single thing from that app.
Kick him out, boss.
Yeah,
ever. Tom, you're with me?
The pesto chicken is really great.
Yeah, you guys.
I can't. You realize I can't make anything that's on the app. So I always watch the cooking shows with great interest, and it's lovely. Yeah. And he's like, you just need this. You just go to Whole Foods, and you just go to, and I'm like, can't get that here. Can't get that here.
You can get
no
it
idea
Aldi.
what that is.
You can get it at Aldi.
Yeah.
Most things, no.
Or you get whatever you need that can do whatever.
And I'm really jealous of you guys because I keep seeing people post on Instagram this amazing 4 rollover wrap thing that everyone's doing. They look amazing, but obviously I'm trying to eat low carb. You've got all these tortilla alternatives made of cauliflower and something else. It's like
there's
low
Folios,
carb,
which is made of cheese.
Yeah. There's no low carb wraps anywhere here yet.
You can make your own
always
Folio.
behind the curve.
Just use that lettuce wrap.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
Boz, I'll figure it out. I have relatives in the UK. I'll figure something out for you and send it your way.
Bless you. Thank you. Or if you just if anyone Trav, you're in the retail space, just bend the ear of some retailers and say, we like low carb too. Just make it a thing. Clearly exists.
I mean, honestly, that's just taken off in the last 6 to 9 months here, where they've really started using that word keto and not just low carb, and people have realized how much of a market there actually is for it.
We went to that. Sorry,
you're starting to see things where it's literally labeled keto friendly, and there's 19 carbs. Get out of here, man! Come on now.
We did see some of that when we were there. We were there at Summit in 2019, and we went to the supermarket over from the PC.
Publix.
Walked down the tortilla aisle, and it was low carb tortillas right there. I was right, we bought 3 packets home with us. Because the thing for me is lunch is a bitch. So the reason I got into intermittent fasting is because I could not find a nutritional solution for my lunch. So I work out on the road, I do a physical job. So I either eat while I'm driving or in a rest stop quickly or whatever. So salad is a nightmare. I don't know. I'll take a salad with me and then it'll just go back in the fridge when I get home because I didn't have time to sit down and eat it. So a wrap or so the sandwich is the perfect food stuff because it holds other stuff to put in my face. I mean, this is the guy who can eat a Big Mac whilst driving without dropping a single piece of lettuce. Thank you very much. So I need the healthy version of that, basically.
There you go.
We do road trip bell pepper sandwiches. I don't think we posted that yet, but maybe we need to. But literally, you turn the bell pepper into your bread. And you have the perfect vessel for any sandwich toppings you want.
There you go.
Holds in very nicely.
Perfect.
See, this is what I was hoping I'd get out of this show.
There you go.
Little known fact: Boz can actually fit an entire bell pepper in his mouth at once. So
okay,
no worries.
The demo's ready. Let's see it.
And you can remove all the seeds and spit them out before you digest it.
Incredible. So, Matt, I wanted to call you out a little bit because I think it's awesome. You were really big. Well, number one, you've been really big on a lot of the stuff that DDP Yoga proper will put out, whether it's the meal prep stuff or this challenge, this or this that, and you seem to really jump in on a lot of them. And you did an improve the move challenge not too long ago, and you were like, I want to work on Black Crow, and I remember you even put it right on as a comment right then and there. And then within 30 days, you were holding minute and a half long Black Crows. And then you kind of approach it I'm going to do forearm stand. And now you're knocking those out.
Yeah.
What's your next improve a move? And Ari, what's yours?
Oh man, I'm still working on forearm stand. I have it on the wall. My next one is I want to hold that for 30 seconds, maintaining good form. So Black Crow was great. That was a good exercise in what shoulder and core stability plays into that position. So that was a lot of fun. And then that kind of progressed into I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can do just a headstand and then so practice that. Well, I can do that. And then Mr. Inversion over here down in the corner, and I was like, I wonder if I can do that. So started messing around with that. So it's still working on forearm stand for sure for 30 seconds. I can't remember what it says up there. By the end of March, I think is when I set that goal for. So nice. Got a couple months to knock that out.
So you're inking it as well, not just thinking it.
Yes, always inking.
We have a wall.
Do that drop. Don't
There it is.
just think it. Think it.
Going in.
We have a wall with your inked goals.
Yeah.
He threw down the gauntlet on the Black Crow. I'm a chronic shoulder instability. Have had to work on that for a long time. I was a swimmer with questionable form. So
Did you drown? What does that mean?
No, that means nobody ever taught me that you should switch it up on which side you're breathing on, so you're not always compromising the position of one of your shoulders, because then you get some of those
I didn't know
tendinopathies, and then they kind of turn into chronic situations. And now it's fine, but I have to really work on my shoulder stability because I've got one that likes to just be loose.
So you always breathe to the left?
I did always breathe to the left.
I did that for years until someone showed me proper.
That's
1, 2, one way, 1, 2 the other
side.
way. Yeah, it's not good for your arms.
I just float. I don't know what you guys talking about.
Well, You try to float. honey. You almost float.
I have a floaty.
Well, me with swimming, I have to do front crawl or backstroke. That's it. Because I cannot do what we call breaststroke, or we call it this one. Because my legs will not do that action at the back, and I sink in water. So if I try and do breaststroke, my legs slowly do this until I'm just like a guppy in the water, like doing this, and I go forward at like no speed. So it's just not an option.
You're getting a life jacket thrown at you. Help this man! Help this man!
I like treading water. I do my survival thing. You had to tread water for 10, 15 minutes. I put in 20 times more effort than anyone else. So I'm pedaling to stay above the water.
I'm with you. She can tread water for hours with no effort, and I drown. Like, it's ridiculous.
You're probably like me. My legs are made of lead, I swear.
The more you fight it, the harder it is to stay up.
No, but we've done this in the pool. Lavinia will go like, all right, hold the side, and like you're just going to float there. I'm like, okay, so we'll go next to each other like this. Lavinia will stay here. I just do this slowly.
That's what you do too.
That's exactly what I do.
And the only thing that keeps me buoyant is the air in my lungs. And if I breathe the air in my lungs, I then completely sink.
Replay that Titanic scene every time.
I'll never let go. Yeah, actually, Matt, I want to say, when you did your Black Crow too, I want to commend you on proper form. And you'd even mentioned your form in inversions. Like, so many people will be like, look, I did crow today. And I'm like, oh, no, you're literally just balancing. You're not actually engaged using your core and actually engaging your entire arm, because they're bringing their knees on the outside of their arms and just kind of holding.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's all about leverage.
It's a legitimate mod.
It is not a legitimate mod.
It is a legitimate mod.
Leverage.
No.
And
because I cannot do that.
And that's
my
fine,
legs,
but that's
my legs,
not crow.
But it's not a strength thing. It's my legs are made of lead. If I put my knee on the back of my arm,
you got to get more leverage. Then you get 2 yoga blocks, and you stand on those yoga blocks, and then you drive your knees into the back of your arms.
But how do you deal with pressure?
Leverage.
How do you deal with the pressure?
You engage your arms more. You can
Tighten
do
those
it.
bad boys
You
up.
can do it.
No soft
do it.
arms.
Right,
Yes.
you're going to train me through this one.
Absolutely, I will. I will teach you to do it. Give me.
Hey, I will say
3
this, though,
days.
Matt, to get it back on track. Wink, wink. You doing your Black Crow, it made me start on it. To be honest with you, because I wasn't doing Black Crow, I was just teaching classes. I was like, let me try this. Let me get going. So I've been working on that lately myself.
Right on.
Yeah.
Ryan, I was totally like that guy before. Like, I could balance on my, just. And then I think you're absolutely right. Once I learned the proper form, I think like DDP Yoga Proper posted something on Instagram. It was like, this is how you do this. This is how it should look. And the do's and the don'ts. And I was like, oh, I've been doing that wrong. So then more research and doing it that way was very beneficial. But I definitely started out modding as Boz would say. Yeah.
But yeah, and Boz, you are correct. It is a modification of the form, but it is not the form.
Right.
I believe it's a stepping stone, because you've got to build that wrist strength.
But
Yeah.
for many
That's
people,
no good.
that's
Nothing else is happening.
a stepping stone. Absolutely, that's not an end point. And for some people, are like, finally got it, nailed it. No, you didn't. You're almost there, and that's kind of where I am. So like people need to learn. Like even like my handstands, like I'll do full handstands and they're great, but my launch, it's wrong. I still kick into it because I can't engage my core enough to elevate both legs up properly. So until I'm there, I have yet to actually get it. I can do it on the dismount, but never on launch. So they're just it's always a work in progress. But so many people like they're like, got this one down now and moving on to the next one. It's like, no, man. Keep
I have to say I don't do it often, and I did get to that point and just I looked at it, I thought, well, I know this isn't the correct form, so I'm going to try it, and I put my knees in the back of my elbows, and the pain, God, the pain.
You gotta go much higher, and so much of it is so much of that is leverage and getting higher and higher, and like that's something I'm working on now is crane, which is like your arms are completely straight in crow, so you're like your butt's all the way up and your arms are straight down, and I went to attempt it yesterday. And nothing. Tried it 2 days ago, couldn't get it. Next day, almost had it, and third day, right on the face. Like you just
Got to use a cushion. You got to use a cushion.
And so now when I do it, it's there's a pillow right underneath.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. My second or third Black Crow attempt ended exactly the same way with a smushed face, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh yes.
Good tip. Put a block there. You can headbutt the block. A cushion's good for a soft landing.
yeah, absolutely. The block idea is fantastic. Like that's using a block under anything is great. Like so many people are afraid because they think it's like easy mode. Now sometimes blocks just help you get proper form. It keeps your hips aligned. It keeps your whole body aligned.
Yeah.
Especially
that's the most important thing, really, is the form.
Yep.
The form, the form, the form.
Yeah,
Right,
don't be going into twisted hood ornament thinking that because you're not using a block and your hand is touching the floor, that's beneficial. Use a block until your leg's high enough, the rotation's right, your shoulder's open, and your arm is up. Then lose the block.
Yeah,
so
that's exactly the move I was going to mention. Like anytime I know you guys are going to call it in one of your L2s, I bring a block along because it feels better too because you're not stretching that hip the wrong way. So. Real quick, I wanted to mention I saw back in December talk about your guys' journey together a lot, and obviously we keep focusing on it. But you guys got each other a DDP-centric gift for Christmas. You want to tell us that story?
Yeah. So Christmas Day rolls around, and we're opening presents down here, and we got each other each the that Positively Unstoppable shirt that everyone is wearing. It was awesome.
So. Backstory, anytime there's any kind of birthday or holiday coming up, if I know I need a win and I have no other ideas, DDPY is like a solid win for me. And then I was easy because I didn't own any DDPY swag before that. So it was his chance to like brand it on me.
There you go. Yeah. So that was
in
fun.
a non-permanent way.
In a non-Tom way. Yeah.
Non-Tom way.
Who opened who's first?
I don't remember. Did I open mine first?
I think you opened yours.
Yeah.
Did you keep a poker face?
I think I just I threw it.
He threw me one and was like,
oh, here you go.
You need to open this now.
Oh, you should have been like, man, I already bought one of these. That would have been
that would have been the way to go. Oh, that's funny.
We had that one Christmas. I was so impressed with myself because there was a flash DDPY sale, and I thought, I want to get Lavinia one of those nice Tervis water bottles. And I logged in, and Hayden was on support. I was like, hey, bro. So ordered it through. I thought, yes, it's a brilliant present. And then she brought me the yoga mat bag for Christmas, and I was gobsmacked. I was like, that was really nice. Although she had to go one better to avoid paying shipping. She got Laura Walden to bring it back for her. Just go one better every time.
She used a fence.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's a ladies thing because I one-upped him by getting him also the DDPY mat for Christmas too. So
but he got you some hoodie that says like "boss bitch" or something on it, right?
That is kind of true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's Tom's hashtag.
What does it say? I don't know who the person is. I'd assume it's something fitness
Crushed
related.
it.
It says crushed
it.
Crushed
Yeah.
It's the person who taught me how to safely lift. Like there's multiple pieces to the learning journey, and it never stops. And even though I thought I was lifting properly, being in PT school, I learned I wasn't. So I found somebody who's like an expert on it, watch her videos, and I work out with her sometimes when I feel that I'm doing it wrong. Because it's hard to watch yourself. I mean, even the Black Crow thing, if I'm not doing it in a mirror or I'm not videoing it, I have no idea necessarily what my body's doing because it's hard to be so focused on everything. I think that's why I struggle with engaging. You have to learn how to feel where your body is, where the muscles are, and whether they're turned on or not. And that's a skill. Like that's something you have to work on.
Yeah, I mean, filming yourself cannot be understated in this stuff.
Yeah,
and that's where the online workouts are good with the Zooms. If you can see yourself on screen, we tell people all the time, if you check in your bent-legged bar bag, look at yourself on the screen. Just check your position. Turn sideways if you need to. You know, it's so valuable.
Yeah. That's a great tip. Like I do the cross mat for that very reason for when we're on Zoom workouts because continuously I'll find myself, especially in road warrior, taking my front knee and leaning it back. Once I go to reverse road warrior, that knee wants to come with it. And just being able to look over to the side and see like, nope, and be really, conscious of that. It's such a huge thing. Just like Boz, you've mentioned before, working out in front of mirrors. You know how different that is. It's about the closest thing you can do. Is really, not all of us have our wives yelling at us, telling us that we're using the wrong muscle.
Well, I've been trying to learn some martial arts forms recently, and the only way I could see if it was any good is to look at the video of the guy who's teaching me and then film myself and compare them.
Yeah.
Because I can't see myself. It's just, the way it goes.
Yeah, I just started to film myself this in 2020, and beforehand I didn't do that. And it's completely changed my form and technique and stuff, going back and watching what I'm doing, and the Zoom classes with you guys help a lot too, kind of glancing at the screen, and it's so beneficial.
Well, you actually listen when I tell you you're doing something wrong now, ever since the person called you out on the three-legged
that was Ryan.
Yeah, so ever since he called you out, you started believing you might be doing something wrong. So
Ryan calls no one out. Come on.
No, never.
No,
be nice.
I noticed something filming myself, and then I saw him doing the same thing, and that's just trying to get a little bit higher in three-legged dog. So you turn your foot out, and you lift it up, and you open up your hip in doing so, and it kind of defeats the purpose in a way, and you're not flexing everything the same way. So to be really cognitive of keeping that toe straight, and don't worry about being the highest guy in the room. Worry about being the guy with the best form.
Yeah, he didn't believe me when I first pointed it out to him. So thank you, Ryan. I appreciated that.
So
my bad.
I want to talk about the very clear nerd thing here going on. Your wedding especially was brought to my attention. So what year was this?
That was
like 7 months ago.
Yeah, that was in July.
Wow, that's recent. Awesome. And because I saw your cake.
Oh yes.
And that's amazing. And then I didn't realize there was another side to the cake.
Oh yes.
So, I believe. Ari, what house are you in at Hogwarts? Gryffindor. Nerd.
Yeah, I'm such a Gryffindor too. Yeah, that's one of
I'm proud of it. So it's fine.
That is one of the other things, other than just everything else, is she's a massive Harry Potter and Star Wars fan, and I was like, okay.
Says the guy who can do Chewbacca.
I can't do it. You go and
Oh, you have to. Please.
All right. Oh man, hang on. I need to web my hang on.
Because I've wanted to do that my whole life, and I cannot do it.
As well.
Amazing.
There you go.
I heard that and I was sold. Put it right on my finger right then and there.
That's what he did. I mean, is that what you heard run past you during that run?
I mean, I stopped, looked back. I mean, nothing catches your attention like hearing Chewbacca.
And I need to know what was going on here, because obviously I identify with this quite a lot.
Okay, yeah. So, boy, you guys done your research. That's awesome.
I mean, you put it out there.
I did. So, my brother got some really awesome. I think, Buzz, you have something similar. Really awesome, heavy-duty lightsabers.
Yep.
As a wedding gift, he got one for him, and he got one for me, and he challenged me to a duel. So we fought, and it was a great moment.
He asked me ahead of time if I could make sure there was some scheduled time in the reception for a lightsaber duel.
Amazing.
At that point, you just kind of roll with it, like.
Yeah.
Because the thing I wanted to know was, because of the chair elevation going on there, was it a reenactment of Revenge of the Sith? Like, I have the high ground.
That's exactly what happened. My brother stood up on the chair and he yelled that.
I
love your brother. Right.
The last wedding I was in, we the bride and groom, the groom is a big Star Wars guy, and the maid of honor got us all lightsabers, and the tunnel that they walked through for their entrance was all of us just holding up sabers. And
that's cool.
While it doesn't look great, when you're just standing there, the photos that came out of it were just incredible because of the way they shot it. Just what an awesome look. And really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Now, Boz, if you noticed on the top of the cake, we were running.
Yes.
I was in front. So just FYI, that first run was the only one. He felt the need to impress, so he beat me that race.
Yeah, I've been trying every other race
ever since. He's trying to catch me.
Just too fast.
Nice.
Who made the cake? It's amazing.
Small Cakes Cupcakery. It's like this national cupcake place, and I mean, I made sure I ran on cake tasting days because I was definitely going to make sure it tasted good. And there were no leftovers.
Speaking of running, guys, speaking of running, I know you guys get into your races. I know you love racing. I know you love running. If you noticed, we have these shirts on right here. You can go check out Smitty's Run.
Oh, it'll happen.
Join us on our 5K here.
Yeah, we will definitely partake in that. I was just telling Ari a little bit ago. I was like, we're going to run that, so we'll be there. We will definitely run for Smitty. It's amazing.
Awesome.
That day we'll be running from Colorado.
Yeah, we'll be in Colorado then, so we will run a 5K in the mountains.
Good,
amazing,
wicked.
Yep.
Nice.
Man, we got to get like 12 other guests to. You better put them on the spot.
They won't say no on the
podcast. Exactly.
Just random video calls. Hey Tina, not to put you on the spot here, but
I'm sorry. I'm guaranteeing one that will tell you to fuck right off, and that's Mr. Dobbins, sir.
He's probably already signed up.
I just know he's feeling I'm running.
So, well, since Travis just put you on the spot, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. Who's your favorite live instructor to work out with that's currently sitting in this call?
Oh, man.
That's evil.
Well,
To be fair, my favorite and least favorite is both Travis, because I swear when you make me do one more slow push-up, I want to throw my phone at the screen. But I also love how I feel afterwards.
Thank you very much.
We were doing the New Year's workout with y'all, which was so fun. And we got done, and Travis goes, "All right, that was the warm-up." And she looks at me and she goes, "That was the freaking warm-up?"
She believed you.
That was a fun workout.
That was a lot of
That
fun.
was a great workout. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's all good. I think I've only worked out with Travis and Ryan, so that also is part of it.
Yeah, I think, man, I'm gonna plead the fifth here and say I love y'all. Like, like
y'all. Okay, so it's Kristen then. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. No, everyone brings a different dynamic to the same positions and moves and same flow, but everyone does it so differently in their own way. You can get so much out of each one's workout. So it's pretty awesome.
How diplomatic of you.
He goes through phases. On like he's super into one person's workouts, and then he's super into somebody else's, which because there are so many of you, it almost helps him never get bored either or stuck in a routine, because he'll kind of just pick who he's feeling that month or that week or whatever, which helps him stay
that's true.
motivated.
Yeah, sometimes I just knock out the app for a while.
You kind of jump around.
Yeah.
What's your favorite app workout?
That's a great question. Probably. Oh man.
It's gotta be one of the Jack ones right now.
No, it's not one of the Jack ones. I love the Jack ones. I'm having fun with doing that. But I think. Oh man, that's a tough question.
Can I switch the question? Because I have a better one for him.
Absolutely.
What do you recommend when you start people out? Because you've now started 3 of my family members out on DDPY,
energy.
and what do you tell them?
Yeah, start with energy and work your way up from there for sure. Energy and the Diamond Dozen.
Yeah.
I really like the Black Row workout. I think that's a quick half an hour in and out, but it's a tough one. It's definitely a doozy.
That's Hayden, isn't it?
No, that's DDP.
Yeah.
Is it?
DDP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He does one as well, right?
Yeah, Hayden breaks out Black Crow in that 6:25:19 and 2 others, but they I love 35 minutes in and out, like take advantage of all of it. I don't need to go 55 plus. Like let's make it hard, high heart rate, 35 minutes.
Yeah, Hayden's got a lot of those too where they're half an hour and he just blasts you. And then you're
He'll
done.
throw in bear squats and 10-second reach and rise.
Yes.
Just a couple of rounds of those, you're definitely burning some calories.
Yeah.
See, I like your recommendation of energy, because that's where I try to learn to engage. Like that's where I start for that.
Yep. Yep.
One day I'll do Black Crow.
Okay.
Maybe.
You will.
You got it by March.
There you go.
That's true.
The end of March. There you
You
go.
gave me a goal. So.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys tuned in last week, but we started a new segment where we have a ever-adding playlist of all of our guests. So we call it the Better Hit the Mat Hype Mix. It's available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and Tom's cassette tapes that you can buy on what corner is it again?
5th and Market.
5th and Market. So 5M, if you will.
What?
And that's every town.
Every town.
I'm not familiar with.
I people everywhere.
What are cassettes? I don't know.
Cassettes are the thing that came before the other thing that was before the thing and after that other one.
Right, I got it. Okay.
Yep. So, let's let Ari go first. Give us a song. What are you adding to the hype mix for working out?
I say this proudly, but you might laugh. The Champion by Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
And Ludacris? I think Ludacris is in there, isn't he?
He has a feature on it?
I think
He has
so.
a feature on it. Yeah.
Champion, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
my pump up song.
I will never laugh at anyone's choice. That's for sure.
This is true.
You like it, I love it.
Well, Lavinia let me down. She was going to put Baby Shark and didn't, so.
Because that's not that hype, man.
It had to be a hype mix, but
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, what do you got?
So I've got one of my go-tos, classic AC/DC, Shoot to Thrill.
Shoot the thrill.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw the rules, but AC/DC is not allowed.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
see the terms and conditions.
funny story
Boo.
about AC/DC. I was a bartender for quite a while, and part of my time in bartending, I was in a strip club, right? So AC/DC was usually on the hour, every hour, and heard it so much. So when I moved on to the next bar, I made it a rule with myself. If I heard any AC/DC, I would just skip it, right? So this is
Right.
at a pool hall. So naturally, at a pool hall, you're going to hear quite a bit of AC/DC.
Yeah.
So it was always a game to me. It was 12 tables across the bar, right? Somebody would press play, and the jukebox was digital at this time, and I would hit skip, and you would know instantly who it was because their head would pop up, you know. And eventually, I just put a note on there that said, "Do not play AC/DC or Leonard Skinner, or it's going to get skipped."
Yeah.
It's like a game of whack-a-mole.
man.
Having worked in a neighborhood dive bar in college, there's only so much of the Back to Black album and Leonard Skinner. There's only so many
Man.
times you can hear Sweet Home Alabama. I mean, there's just certain songs that you just can't listen to. I will never skip any Eddie Money, Take Me Home Tonight, though. That's the one song that was always played. I will always rock out to that.
But that said, Matt, we absolutely respect your choice.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes,
It's
sir.
totally going on there. As long as Naren's went on there, yours totally goes on there.
I have no problem with your choice. So
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome, pal.
We
Very
do
well.
we do have separate headsets while we're working out.
We
Even
do.
if we're running together, we are not listening to the same music.
Yeah. Yep.
To each their own, right? And you know, that's what it is, and that's what's kind of cool about this is if you bring up that mix, it's gonna be all over the map.
Yeah,
because our guests are
all
all over,
over.
people all over. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
So-
looking at it earlier this week on Apple Music. I subscribed to that, and I was looking through it. It's like, there's some weird and amazing songs on there already. It's pretty
Yeah.
great. Like, it's fun.
When you're
Yeah,
halfway in, when you're into the workout, and then all of a sudden, Angel of Death comes on. It's like,
right as you're relaxing into Can Opener, a little bit of Slayer.
It's so extreme.
it's like,
so
okay,
extreme.
deep breath.
I was like, I'd have gone Rain in Blood. She said Angel of Death, and I was like,
All right. She went all in.
yeah.
I'm
Okay,
slowly
so-
learning to like your music.
Okay.
We obviously we looked at your social medias and everything to kind of get a better idea of how to approach this. So I'm gonna kind of go off of this real quick. You're an MSU grad, and then you're a Nebraska fan. Is that right?
I did most of my education at MSU and then
Okay.
finished at UNL.
So I was gonna say then I saw you in Nebraska gear, and I'm like, how could you do that, you Big Ten traitor?
Yeah.
But
To be fair, I'm a child of both.
okay, fair enough. So on that then, this has nothing to do with MSU though. But who's winning in a fist fight? Diamond Dallas Page, defensive end, and Ndamukong Suh, or Voldemort,
Oh man.
I feel like I have to answer one way.
You go first.
Oh no, you first.
I am gonna say my boy Sue. I feel like Sue's a big boy, and he'll get it done. He'll fight dirty, but he'll get it done.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, magic, honey. Like killing curse, no fist needed. Sorry,
Okay.
Voldemort's just.
I don't know. I understand that. What is it? Adava Invada Karava. What is the?
Avada Kedavra.
There you go. I know that
Hold on, let me
that's the
get
killing curse, but I'm pretty sure the Sue Stomp is much, much more powerful.
Yeah, and I feel like if you look at Voldemort, he couldn't stop a little kid. So
It's true. True
Kid
story.
also had magic. I'm just
I
saying,
don't know.
no physical.
And Dominican Sue can beat up a
It's okay.
13-year-old.
yeah.
Voldemort couldn't.
You can be wrong, honey. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I'm loving this dynamic.
Oz is like,
love it,
yes,
too.
yes, finally not me. Have at it, guys. Have at it.
Well, to transfer from a wrong answer to a right answer, 5-year-old Tom has a quick meal prep question for you guys.
Nice.
Okay.
So 5-year-old Tom has his little Hulk Hogan lunchbox, which I did when I was 5, going off to kindergarten. What are you packing me for breakfast or for lunch?
I wouldn't pack you anything in Hulk Hogan. If it was Ultimate Warrior, I would.
I don't think Ultimate Warrior's around when I was 5, but
Okay.
I'm old.
He just said
I'm
he's
old.
going to send
Okay.
the 5-year-old hungry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Terrible parent.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Jesus.
he's not,
Harsh.
to be fair, he's not a dad yet, so he gets like a slight pass.
That's true.
Oh, we might have to have some conversations.
Take it
Yeah.
away, baby.
Oh, do you
No.
want to announce it now?
I might have to tell him first if that's gonna happen. So, no, in that little lunch pail, I had kids that he nannied for, so I actually kind of played out this scenario. So, corn tortilla tacos, so fun, little kid size, a little thing of grapes, and then a little packet of totally flew out of my brain. Oh, sorry, peanut butter and crackers to just kind of eat it with, or hummus and carrots. It kind of just depends. I'm a big fan of kids learning to eat healthy, but they get the crackers in there and some of the things that maybe not all of us would eat, because they have a lot more energy consumption happening throughout the day. So little 5-year-old Tom would be getting some tacos from me, some homemade
good.
salsa, some carrots and hummus.
Go and make 2 of those. I'm in.
Yeah.
I know little 5-year-old Tom was bougie because my 5-year-old self, little story here is I had to learn how to be tough because I went to school with a Tupperware lunchbox with the stupid wraparound connector, and that's how I had to eat my bologna sandwich. And like, what kind of lunchbox is that?
5-year-old Boz would say, "That's very nice, thank you. Now, what's for the main course?"
Exactly.
Where's the pudding?
I was the only kid who never liked pudding.
Really?
Didn't like
Yeah,
pudding or
she
jello.
still doesn't like pudding. It's weird.
No.
Hmm.
Couldn't
Even had
do it.
Bos's puddings.
You'd like one of my puddings, yeah. The choices are endless.
That sounds threatening.
Actually.
The ultimate
You
pudding.
can't refuse it.
The ultimate pudding is trifle. And I've yet to make the perfect keto trifle, but it is completely possible, and I'm going to do it. So
As long as it's not like the trifle from Friends, I'm good. The meat with the lady fingers, then I'm
Yeah.
no, don't do that one. It's fine.
So would 5-year-old Tom have ate that?
Oh, absolutely. I was hoping for peanut butter and jelly with the crust cut off, but man, I'm living life now, so this is good.
I don't do PB&Js because I never get it right, no matter what kid you make it for.
2
You either,
ingredients.
Like, no, I know, that's the scary thing, but like it's too much jelly or it's too much peanut butter or it's creamy, not crunchy, or
Too much
Yeah.
I
jelly.
mean, oh my gosh.
you can
No, there's no
Kids
such
are
thing as too
so-
much peanut butter. You can
Oh,
keep
yeah.
the jelly.
Yeah,
My
so-
daughter is
nothing.
peanut butter only. She's like, no, but put it on both sides of the bread, Dad. Don't,
Here's how it's
don't
perfect.
short me.
Here's how a PB&J is perfect. If something hits the napkin or the table out of the sandwich when you eat it, then you have plenty of both in there.
See,
Yeah,
this
look
is
at
a
you.
perfect example of why I don't go there with kids that I don't
Yeah.
know, because you just don't win.
You see, in the UK, we only know PB&J sandwiches because of like films and TV. And when I was about 8 years old, my best friend, his dad was at the American Air Force Base. He's from the States. I have no idea where because I was too young. Every day for lunch, he had PB&J sandwiches, and we're like, "What's in your sandwiches?" And like, we only just knew what peanut butter was at this point. And he's like, "It's peanut butter and jelly." And of course, we're thinking wobbly jelly, like dessert jelly, because we obviously think jam. It's peanut butter and jam. And like, he was just a pariah at lunchtime. But he had these amazing drinks, these space age drinks. And we're like, "What's he got there?" It was a Capri Sun. Ooh. With a straw in this foil packet. Like, we just had wood, like cardboard cartons. That was like the peak of technology here. And then some days he'd bring in like a can of Pepsi, and the ring pull went back and forward and stayed on the can. It was amazing. Sorry, it's just.
It's so funny, Boz. You had mentioned milk cartons. I remember being a kid, and they transitioned from milk cartons to the bagged milk. I don't know if you guys ever had it there, but we had to watch this whole video on how you can't squeeze the bags as you're puncturing it, and you can't do all this stuff. And then I remember them approaching it that it was space age technology, and it's how astronauts drink milk. And so every kid was hype as fuck. We're like, we are drinking astronaut milk, guys.
Well, the first time I went to his house for like a play date, and his mum gave me one of these holy metal bags of drink, I was like, "Oh!"
Those are now 12 for $1. Yeah, 12 for $1 here.
Wow.
Seriously. Anyway, speaking of nutrition, it's about that time. Do you guys want to stick around for Tom's nutrition segment, or have you got to get gone?
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Amazing. Right. So, moving Tom to the prime spot. So, this week, Tom's nutrition segment. So fresh and so clean.
Clean. I love it. Great name, guys. So, we talked about some cool topics, and since we had you guys on today, I thought this is pretty appropriate. So, there's no debate. Produce in the form of fruits and vegetables are nutritional powerhouses. They're chock full of essential vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, enzymes, digestible fiber, and water. The health benefits of diets rich in fruits and vegetables is astounding. Now, the USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, says that we should be consuming 2 cups of fruit and 2.5 to 3 cups of veggies each and every day. Now, the reality is the average American eats only 43% of the recommended fruit intake per day, and just 57% of the recommended intake of veggies. On the same note, just 1% of adults and 2% of children meet both their fruit and veggie requirements daily. Now, why is this? Some people state that fresh fruits and vegetables are too expensive or inaccessible in their area. Also, purchasing an abundance of fresh produce each week only to have them spoil before consumed is a major turnoff to the consumer. Now, there are options in the form of frozen and canned produce. However, many still believe that fresh produce is nutritionally superior to frozen and canned counterparts. So is this true? On today's episode, we're going to investigate this topic, as always, using science and logic. So the question is fresh produce better for you than frozen? So a great place to start is asking, why do people still feel that fresh produce is healthier than frozen? Well, the word fresh implies less processed, and less processed implies healthier. Now, as we've discussed in previous episodes, highly processed, highly refined foods are likely nutritionally devoid and often do resort in overconsumption. However, not every level of processing is typically bad. So there's different levels of processing, and examples of some of the terminology is minimally processed, which that simply means rinsing and packaging. So good examples of this would be washed and prepackaged fruits and vegetables, bagged salads, roasted and ground nuts, and coffee beans. Now, there's also preservation processing, which is used to preserve and enhance nutrients like canned tuna, beans, tomatoes, freezing fruits and vegetables, and pureeing and jarred baby foods, which baby foods are just lightly steamed, pureed, and put into packaging. Now, both of these options clearly preserve whole food products and are not compared to the highly refined, highly processed frankenfoods that we tell you guys to steer away from. Now, nutritionally speaking, there's a lot of factors that go into the health of your produce. There's a difference in each and every specific fruit and vegetable. It's also based on the soil quality that they're grown in, the season, the weather, the growing methods, the ripeness when harvested, post-harvest handling, processing methods, transport, storage times, over and over and over, etc. Now, as we can see, this is a very, very complicated issue, but let's make this simpler and not get lost in all the details. So first, is your fresh produce actually even fresh? Great question, right? So if your produce is picked on a day one, after being harvested and processed, on average, it takes 8 days to travel to your local grocery store. Once there, it may sit on the shelf for up to 1 week before you purchase it and take it home, where again, it may spend up to another week in your refrigerator. Now, even if you eat the same day that you buy it, your supposedly fresh produce has already been sitting for close to 2 to 3 weeks. Now, to combat this issue, many companies, what they'll do is they'll pick their fruits and vegetables before they're actually ripe, so they have more time during transit. They may look the exact same as ripe produce, but the produce is unable to reach its peak ripeness, and research states that it won't have the same vitamin, nutrient, and nutritional composition as produce that's allowed to fully develop its nutritional potency. Now, plus, because fresh produce is so perishable, it needs to be shipped constantly, which means more frequent and expedited shipments, and that costs the growers money. That cost gets passed on to you, the consumer. Now, a quick few tips. Farmers markets or roadside produce stands will often have fresher options with less transit time. So if you're looking for something to get the freshest options, and if you don't have your own home garden, farmers markets and roadside fruit stands are usually the best choice. Now, on the other hand, when produce is grown to be shipped and sold as frozen, it's picked at its peak ripeness directly from the fields where it grows, and it's sent to a processor very close by. The fresh produce is either blanched or steamed, and that's to reduce bacterial load, and then it's immediately flash frozen. And this process locks in all the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, so it's ready to be shipped. Now, this frozen produce is stored until a large shipment can be sent for delivery. It doesn't have to be expedited because it'll perish. It just needs to stay frozen. Now, this reduces total consumer cost. This also minimizes the varying temperature and light changes that fresh produce goes through that has been shown in research to slightly reduce nutritional value. So major advantages of frozen produce is that they're significantly more cost effective. You can keep staples on hand in case you don't have time to buy fresh produce, and you'll never waste another fresh or fruit or veggie again. So into the science. An article from the 2017 Journal of Food Composition and Analysis states that this is a very complicated issue, and it depends on the individual produce that we're talking about and the processing method. So let's look at beta carotene first. Beta carotene is the precursor to vitamin A. Beta carotene is to be slightly higher in fresh broccoli than frozen. However, it's lower in corn and it's lower in fresh green peas. Where was the other one here that we had? Oh, also found this paper compared nutritional content of fresh stored, and fresh stored means 5 days refrigeration, and frozen fruits and vegetables. So the first thing they established was that the beta carotene issue. The other thing they looked at here was ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. So in broccoli, fresh is just about equal to frozen, but fresh stored is slightly worse. And this was the same thing that was found in corn, green peas, strawberry, showing that there's a decrease in nutrients when they're freshly stored as opposed to fresh right off the vine or frozen over time. So the conclusion that they made was, quote, overall, the majority of comparisons yield no significant difference. In the cases of significant difference, there is generally an observation of 5 days refrigerated storage have a negative association with nutrient concentration, and the frozen produce have a slightly higher nutrient content than fresh stored. Our findings do not support the common perception that fresh produce is nutritionally superior to frozen produce. So I found another great paper here. This was from the 2007 Journal of Science of Food and Agriculture, and this supports similar findings. This says, quote, losses of nutrients during food storage may be more substantial than consumers realize. Depending on the commodity, freezing and canning processes may actually preserve or enhance nutrient value. So their suggestion is a diet full of diverse fruits and vegetables is ideal. The results presented here suggest that canned, frozen, and fresh fruits and vegetables should all be consumed and included within dietary guidelines. So my best advice, if we were to do a take home here, the most nutritious produce is the produce that you will actually eat. So if more affordable and convenient frozen fruits and vegetables allow you to eat more, then that alone is way more important than hanging onto the myth that fresh is better than frozen. And we will end this the way we love to, Science, bitches.
Yeah, there's a snobbishness here, I think, about frozen produce, and we have a supermarket called Iceland, and they just do frozen stuff. And my dad was like, he gets loads of deliveries from there, and I'm like, there's still a thing in my brain like, Iceland. But yeah, like it makes sense if you freeze something straight away, you lock it in. Like if you know that's happened, there's a brand of fresh garden peas here that have always claimed that these are the best, and they actually do taste the best straight out of the freezer. So we're actually buying more frozen vegetables now than probably ever before.
Yeah, definitely from a cost standpoint and nutrition standpoint, it's a great option. And unfortunately, we kind of get lost in the minutia. We talk about this all the time. People, when they're getting ready to get started, they kind of get overwhelmed by all the details. They look at stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 of the DDPY workout. They think, oh, it's got to be organic. It's got to be gluten-free. It's got to be dairy-free. It doesn't have to be. Those are options. There's many ways to get there. There's many ways to live good, healthy lives. But you just have to pick what's going to work best for you, what fits in the budget. And trust me, 90% of the battle is just making better choices. And they could be choices from all different realms. They don't have to be the exact. We did that great thing about the organic foods. And that's one of my favorite things always to go back to, is that there's really no science to show that organic has any sort of change than just regular conventional food. So that also gives you another option now. If you can't choose organic because it's too expensive and you can't choose fresh, go frozen. And there's no really nutritional difference between the two.
I'll take frozen broccoli over fresh broccoli any day.
I'm with you. Frozen broccoli is great.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that's different is texture and flavor, right? So some of them are definitely going to taste different. Boz, there was one of the studies I found, I wish I had found it, but there was the scientific reasoning of why frozen pea is sweeter than a fresh pea. And it had something to do with degradation because of sunlight. Right. That the natural sugars in a frozen pea is always going to taste better. So they say a lot of times you eat in restaurants and you have really, really, beautiful tasting peas. And if they're really bright in color, more than likely it probably was a flash frozen product, which they just, quickly cook. So there's, benefits with both. My biggest one to go to is spinach all the time. We look at a bag of spinach can be $2, and that boils down to like a small handful of spinach. For 50 cents to $1, you can get a significant amount of frozen spinach, which again is going to cook down to the same, probably 3 or 4 times as much for a quarter of the price.
Depends on how you're going to use it. If you're going to put it in an omelet, absolutely. If you're going to try and make a salad, probably not. No,
that's very true. That's very, very true. But yeah, if you're cooking it. So
here's your mush salad.
That's what I think is so funny is they charge so much more for baby spinach over more mature leaf, and because apparently the nutrients in baby spinach are so much better. And it's such a minuscule difference. Like it's not worth paying the $1.50 a pound difference.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
We froze the rest of our garden, and it still tastes good. I don't know how many months later, but nothing went to waste.
What do you grow?
So a long list, but what we could freeze of what we grew were different types of peppers: bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, kale, broccoli. We actually cooked the tomatoes down and then froze the tomatoes cooked down, and then we turned that into either pizza sauce or pasta sauce or whatever kind of sauce we need to use it for. Different squashes, cooked it and then froze it, because you can't necessarily freeze fresh zucchini, but if you cook it and then freeze it, you can do that, and it holds quite well. But
I love how she says we, like I played any part in that. That was totally
a royal we.
You ate the one food we couldn't freeze, which was the cucumbers. So you did help, darling.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Travis, you guys you're growing some stuff down there, right? You grow beef.
Yeah, we grow beef. We sure do. We grow it. We pick it off the trees.
He was showing, we're on a Facebook call.
There's some
We're on a
limbs.
Facebook call, and he's walking around his farm, and he's showing my daughter all the cows. And he goes, see that one? That one's medium rare. She goes, oh, that's a nice name.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's what I name them.
I had a friend who had pigs, and he was like, that one's called ham, that one's called sausages. He's like, I'm not getting attached. I was like, oh, gosh.
Hey, they don't let me pet them, so I'll just name them medium rare.
You show them love either way, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, they get no hormones. They're not pellet fed. They're grass fed, grain fed. Nice. They get fed taken very well. They're not forced to grow, so we don't overpopulate the land. right now we only have I think about 8 right now.
That's awesome.
I'll take one.
We'll take them as
Yeah,
steaks and ground. We don't even need it cooked to medium rare. We'll take it.
You know what's funny is a lot of people don't understand what cuts come off of a cow. I had some people split a cow one time, and they were a little disappointed because they didn't get enough filet mignons. I'm like, well, how long? What do you think you're gonna get off of one backstrap of a cow when 2 people are splitting it? You know.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, when you want T-bones cut into that as well, that T-bone has the strip and a bit of the fillet. So, you know, it's not much. You're gonna get a lot of hamburger.
Yeah. So, as if for the nutrition segment, I feel that I didn't do the title justice. I'd have Ryan, if you wanted to say
I
it on
believe
the way out.
that
in the
title
way
was supposed to
intended.
be. Once again, Tom, thanks for that. And once again, that segment was so fresh and so clean. And it was brought to you by Andre 3000 and Big Boy. So
It's fresh and so clean.
I
We get
totally missed that on the
Do we
intro.
get a strike
so-
for singing?
look, I
Did we get a
even
strike for
made
singing?
look. I made it even smaller.
I know,
Like,
it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Like, come on, man.
Do you know, as I read it and I saw Andre 3000 and Big Boy, it made no click in my brain. And then I realised halfway through his segment, oh, it's that song!
Stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
We gotta reboot.
So go back! This is why we will never do this shit live as long as I live.
Exactly.
I'm sure we'll have one live episode, and it's gonna be a fucking train wreck.
On the boat.
And that'll have to have call-ins and everything that makes it more difficult. So thank you to the Full Gores. Sorry, Razzie, before I did.
Ultra.
We can't thank you enough for joining us. That has been an absolute blast. If people want to follow you on social medias, Instas, get these amazing videos we've been talking about, if people haven't seen them, how do they do that, please?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at kilowatt121. Facebook is just Matt Kilgore. And most of our videos are on the DDP Yoga Facebook group, but also the DDPY meal prep group that goes on there. So everything is in there as well.
And I'm at Cook Aria, Koch though. Coach Aria is another way to have it. And then Ariana Kilgore on Facebook, and most of the videos will be on the meal prep page as well. So yeah.
And we'll put links. We'll put links to that group as well. So
Cool.
I think your admin's in there with a few other people from the community, right? Yep.
Yep, sure.
I was going to say, you must have been ground floor on that group or founder members or whatever.
Yeah, so when we did the meal prep challenge, myself, Rich, and Stephanie Kelly got first, second, and third, and then shortly thereafter, we kind of jumped in with Maddie Wilner and got that just kind of one central location for meal prep stuff.
Best way to do it. So there's so many subsections of this that people kind of get lost in the shuffle, or you just everything kind of just gets lost in the feed.
Boz, I'm gonna do a bell pepper sandwich one just for you.
Thank you. I better join the group then.
Yeah.
No, I've honestly never done meal prep in my life, like as a thing, not even a conscious thought. So yeah, I mean, everyone makes himself a packed lunch occasionally, but I don't think that counts.
My meal prep is literally like yesterday I cooked 6 pounds of bacon and 8 pounds of chicken. That's as far as my meal prep goes, because then I'll just make everything out of that. Like I can't do the individual container thing, your organization thing that looks and sounds awesome. Nope.
We've tried. Yeah.
I tell some of my friends starting out, sometimes the prep is making a grocery list, knowing what you have in your fridge. Like prep just means that you've set yourself up for making meals that week, so you're not running out to get fast food. That's meal prep.
Yeah, absolutely. And as always, guys, if you want to reach out to us, you can shoot us an email at hitthemattpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube so you know when we go live with other content. maybe we could even feature one of your videos occasionally or something. If you guys come along with something cool, or it's a good way to tie in if you guys do a DDP yoga recipe app or something like that, that'd be really cool.
Right
and then if you're listening on any podcast app like Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, CastBox, or Tom's favorite, Pandora, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe there to help us go up higher in the rank categories. We're actually trending in some fitness categories. Not sure how, but that's kind of cool. We even got an email about it. He wants us to buy into his services, though, so he's probably lying. You can also follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Hit the Mat Podcast. You can follow me on Instagram at Burn the Boats Fitness, and you can follow my co-hosts at the following.
You can find us at Back on Track Living on Instagram. I think that's the thing. I'm trying to get Twitter's a bit more visible, if I remember. But I think if you want us to be active on Twitter, just send us stuff on Twitter. It might make me interact and remember it's there. Otherwise, Facebook's the best place. Look up our group, join our group. You get a free Facebook Live workout every Monday. And beyond that, there's our Patreon, where you can sign up for our intermediate classes on Zoom.
And there's also new T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, the order went in today, so for the UK lot, you missed the chance, but we'll probably do another run at some point once there's enough demand. If you're in the US and you want a T-shirt, look us up on Redbubble, which is Back on Track merch.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
I have one on the way.
Yeah.
Me too.
T?
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Tom.
All right. Tom. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yep.
All right. If you guys have any sort of interest in my coaching services, find me at beunstoppableathletics.com. You can also find me on Facebook at Be Unstoppable Athletics, or you can find my coaching or my live DDPY instruction. Guys, level 2 instructor. Dr. 2, level 2. Everyone
Did we celebrate that properly?
No friends,
We
no
didn't.
family, none whatsoever. No, we didn't talk about anything throughout the week, so I didn't want to bring it up. We just kind of jammed in. But yeah, so I got my level 2 this week. So Sarah Fortune and I are both level 2 instructors teaching.
Cheers.
Cheers. Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Tommy 2 times.
Tommy 2 times.
He's now Dr. 2-2.
2. Dobbins will love that one. He's already made some jokes.
Oh, yeah.
We got a couple things going on over at Project Mayhem. We got BFR training. We're the only people doing that. And the other thing that's big is we have a Valentine's Day workout, only the way Sarah Fortune can do it. That's going to be Monday, February 15th. It's going to be the day after Valentine's Day. It's going to be a sort of a nightmare class, I'm sure, but it'll be so much fun. So make sure you check it out. Blood, gore. It's going to be crazy.
Nice.
Travis, what do you got going on, bud?
All right, you can catch me over at the Real Shamrock Fitness on Instagram. Over at Facebook, you can catch me at Shamrock Fitness, a DDP yoga experience. Also, you can catch me over at transitioncoach.ca, along with Kristen Nava and Dr. Marcel Dore. And you can catch around 18 classes a week there with us, between the three of us there.
But can they catch you outside?
Catch me outside.
And remember, go to
smitty'srun.com. And
Sign
you can
up.
also you can also find that on Facebook, Smitty's Run. You can also find it on Instagram, Smitty's Run. So post your pictures, post your videos. If nothing else, if you don't want to check it out or do anything, just check out the video and check out Smitty, man. He was a great dude.
Awesome. So that just remains for us to say again, thank you to our wonderful guests. Raise your glasses, please, everybody. And
Cheers.
Remember, always take the high ground. Cheers.
Cheers. Now hit
Hit
the
the
mat.
mat. Wow, sorry for that fuck up at the end there.
Better Hit the Mat Podcast.
It's Thomas Soroka. Literally took the time to email us to say Tom Willett sucks. And he even entitled it U4, like the whole episode title and everything. Like the body wasn't as long as the title. But there you go.
Right here. You good? Check, check.
Bring it back in a bit.
In a bit.
Today.
Yep.
Check, check, check.
Now breathe.
Ooh. I can taste that.
2 finger widths away.
2 finger widths as he puts 4 up. What the fuck was that? You're like 2 finger widths.
Precision.
Yeah.
Good. Nothing. It's gonna be our #1 rated episode with Ryan not talking.
What the heck?
I keep having this on standby and I never remember to use it.
What's that? Ah. Oh, we can definitely utilize it at some point.
It's very annoying. That one is, but
We definitely have to find a use for that for sure.
that's the most Cockney accent ever. That was bullshit. Don't do that. It's like, oh, I hear things.
Fuck you.
There we go.
Hey! So, it's one of those days, isn't it?
Jesus, Harold Christ.
Hey, we don't have many of these awkward silence outtakes, so like that's one for the can.
Oh, I'm just trying to talk less so our ratings go up for Tom.
So thank you guys, thank you for hanging with us for the nutrition segment. We always love it when there's more people in the house. So
Tom just talked for like 30 minutes straight, had one slight slip up.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Welcome to the shit show.
That was bullshit.
Oh.